Is
Hi,
it 11:29 like AM or PM?
AM. I'm in San Francisco.
Oh, got it.
Okay.
San Fran.
Oh,
Tim Minchin's joining us. Tim, you're coming to Minneapolis soon. We're so excited to have you here, man.
I
You,
know.
you travel
I'll be the
so
for the
much.
first time ever. I'll be the second most famous Tim in the state.
Yes, isn't that fun?
It's
I've
so
been out
lovely.
Timmed.
I've always wanted to talk to someone that does what you do because it's so interesting. If anyone doesn't know Tim's comedy, I mean, musical comedy, stand-up comedy, that's got to be hard to put those two things together, buddy, because stand-up's great. Music, people can, have a great career in, but when you put those two, it's so subjective. You're really taking two art forms and trying to combine them to appease a certain
Sort
crowd.
of, except I was never a comedian. I was just a musician who was
It's funny.
confident on stage and inclined to make my audience laugh. And then when I wrote songs, I tended to be a satirist. So like obviously it was musical. I say was because I retired from comedy 15 years ago basically, but which is what this show's about really. And as people who come to see the show will witness, I'm not very good at unbecoming a comedian, but I've tried. But yeah, I think I was okay at musical comedy. I mean, I think I was probably very okay at it. And then Bo Burnham came along, who was a friend of mine, and just made everyone else look like bloody amateurs. But yeah, I think it can be pretty hard to do good musical comedy, but mine was always music first. I was touring with symphony orchestras, and it was really about the music as much as anything. It wasn't like, here's my ukulele and I'm rhyming something with the word bum.
What can audiences expect at your show exactly? What are they going to see?
Well, having sort of gone from little cabaret guy in Melbourne to arenas with orchestras in a sort of 6 year period in the late noughts, I then wrote Matilda the musical and went on to act and do films and Californication and directed an animated film that didn't. So I've had this whole journey. And what I've been trying to do with my music is just to get rid of the pigeonhole. My whole career is about not being pigeonholed, which is why people find me sort of difficult to interview and stuff because I keep trying to redefine myself, and this is really part of that project. So I'm on stage. I've stripped it right back. I don't play big rooms anymore. I mean, like, I don't know what the room is there, 1,500 seats or something. I just talk to the audience and play songs that are not my like punchline songs. My songs tend to still be a little bit kind of quirky and stuff, and people laugh and cry, and it's all about the emotional journey for me because actually the biggest successes in my life are my musicals. And the reason I love theatre is that it's not about like I'm going to make you laugh for an hour and a half, and it's not like I'm going to make you gnash your teeth for an hour and a half. It's all about seeing if you can stretch people in all directions and make them laugh and think and cry. Basically, that's what I'm doing.
It seems like the show is a lot of ad lib. You're kind of going with what different audiences are feeling at the time or thinking about. Do you find that you have to kind of change? I don't want to say routine because you seem so just go with the flow. Do you find you have to change it from state to state or venue to venue
Or
depending on where
show to
you're at?
show, I
Or
would say.
yeah, when you're in
Yeah.
Florida.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, because the things I talk about and always have been really is one. It was the thing that made my comedy career so lucky. Is when I moved from Australia to England, and even when I toured in the US, I didn't really change my material because I'm talking about sex and death and God and determinism and free will and what it is to be a human and putting yourself in other people's shoes and generosity and criticism and the politics of online discourse. And, I'm talking about big universal ideas. I'm not talking about, Minneapolis necessarily when I come to Minneapolis. But the other decision I've made is that I don't think Americans need yet another outsider telling them how bonkers they are right now. Like you all know how bonkers you are,
We do.
and
Yeah.
how bonkers it is. And I think you all know how bonkers it is here influences the rest of the world. And I'd rather people came and sat in a space and watched I also the other thing, this sounds unbelievably, I don't know how to say this without sounding like an absolute tosser, but I play piano a bit better than people think. Really, you're coming to see a pianist songwriter, sing and play piano. And I've decided that my urge to be political, which is quite a strong urge, I'm just keeping a lid on that right now, because I just don't think you need another voice going, wow, America's crazy, so I'm trying to just talk about those big themes. But yes, I try to let the show just reflect my mood of the day, and I try to make sure the ideas I'm talking about develop every night. I'm not particularly scripted. I just try to, it's all about trying to be present in the room and give people a night out that they walk out going, we'll never see something like that again.
Well, I just want to say, in America, we don't have 9-foot spiders trying to kill us or kangaroos trying to punch us that look like, they're built like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
We're a little terrified of your country.
Yeah, you're Australians. I mean, come on.
There's this hilarious thing about Australia being deadly, which is fun. It keeps too many tourists away, which is nice. But I remember I moved from Australia. I live in West Australia, which is really like, the outback. I spent a lot of time going bush, and I've never in my life seen a snake or been bitten by a deadly spider or anything. And I moved to LA, and the first week I was there, I saw a rattlesnake like 100 meters from my house. And then as I was looking at it, this massive like eagle or some thing swooped down and took it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is, and then there's people with guns. Like, I'll take a sexy Chris Hemsworth kangaroo any day.
Wow.
That's so funny.
You won't believe what just happened at our zoo this spring. Okay. So there was someone, they have these, like a show, like a show where they train birds. So someone was holding an owl, showing how they're training this owl to go out and then come back, training it to like it'll go and come back. And so it had gone out, and they're waiting for it to come back. It didn't come back. We're like, what's with this owl? Did it get lost? Nope. It had flown away, and it had somehow gotten into like one of the big cat enclosures, like tiger or lion or whatever, and it got eaten.
The owl got eaten.
Yeah,
I was going to say the owl had gone out into the audience and got someone's stupid little chihuahua and brought it and like killed the chihuahua, because that happened too.
No, it had gone out and
oh my God,
never came back.
It's a dog world, man. It's a tough world out there if you're an owl.
Tiger eat owl world.
Man, yeah, it's a tiger eat owl world.
You have been in the entertainment industry for quite a while. What were your early memories of starting in this business and being like, oh, wow, this might be for me?
Well, I mean, I can be long and boring about that story, but really the sort of interesting thing, I guess, if anything's interesting about my reasonably not very rock and roll career, is I took a long time to get going. So all through my late teens and early 20s and late 20s, I was always writing music for theater, but like youth theater, here's $500, write 10 songs, just doing my hours, doing my 10,000 hours. I'm a mostly self-taught pianist. I don't read or write music. So I come from West Australia, which is like Perth is the most isolated capital city in the world. So I was just in my little world thinking, oh, well, I'll never be a proper musician because I'm untrained, and, I'll just do little bits of theater. And then I started playing gigs, and I played in disco cover bands and pub bands and original bands that never really got anywhere. Then I moved to Melbourne to try and get a record deal. I couldn't get a record deal. And then I started doing these, what I thought were like cabaret shows, but they just got funnier and funnier, and people started laughing more and more, and people started coming more and more. And then in 2005, the year started with me doing a show at the Melbourne Comedy Festival that I think the biggest audience was 150 people. And by October that year, I'd played at the Royal Albert Hall in London. Like I had this big, because of the Edinburgh Festival, I just had this huge change. And then suddenly I was playing 1,000-seaters and stuff, and on that journey to the arenas. And meanwhile, I got asked by the Royal Shakespeare Company to write Matilda the musical. But none of that happened till I was already married. I was 29, and my wife was pregnant with our first kid, and everything changed. And so I just kept working until I found something that people wanted. I'm pretty pragmatic. I wasn't like, I deserve to be an artist because I'm so talented, and what would the world possibly do without my art? I'll just pursue my vision. It wasn't that. It was like, what am I okay at? Okay, I've got fast fingers and a fast mouth and a reasonably fast brain in certain directions. And eventually that drew me to comedy, and then back out the other end, really, all the way to Minneapolis.
Did your writing or comedy change after you had a child? Did you feel a different vibe?
It's a good question, man. I don't think so. I mean, some of the comedy I did when my kids were babies, like, was pretty pretty edgy. I'm not looking forward to my kids seeing that stuff. That'll be all right. But my daughter's 18 now, and oh god, yeah, I think she's seen some of the rougher routines. But I was all. It was a different time.
Yeah, right.
There was a much more open-hearted idea of what irony is used for. You know, this idea that you can say something quite full on, and the nature of irony is I define it as the clash between content and intent, right? So I'm sitting there playing a big classical song about how all the people I hate, and it's very, very obvious to my audience that what I'm saying is that hate is disgusting. You know, that it's irony, right? Because we've become a text-based society, and people love to take things and put them online and sort of remove them from their ironic context. It's all changed now, and that's all right, because, well, I don't think it's all right. I think it's terrible for the world, but it's all right. I'm not whining. Like, I was happy to move on from that stuff. You know, I was also a little guy punching up. I hate that phrase. It's reductive and stupid, but you know what I mean. I was a little guy, like, agitating the powers that be, and now I'm a middle-aged, pretty rich white guy. Like, it's not appropriate for me to be being edgy anymore, so I'm happy to. I love what I'm doing now, you know.
Oh, good. So when is your show here? Do we have that?
The 21st.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, I'm glad you know. I have
the day before the state fair.
Oh gosh, I was just trying to look it up on my computer because I have so many things on my screen.
I know.
I just want to make sure people know about it, so they can.
21st at the state fair. Or sorry, 21st at the State Theater.
Oh, State Theater. What's the State Fair? Is that like? Am I crashing
State Theater's
on
beautiful.
Something?
It's so gorgeous.
The State Fair is
the State Theater. He asked.
I know. You asked about the theater or the fair?
No, the fair. What's the fair?
Oh.
We're communicating so well, guys.
I know. The fair happens the day after your show, and if you're around, I would love to square you a bit at the fair, because it's quite a thing. Have you ever been to a fair of any kind?
I guess I've been to fair. We have like country fairs in Australia where there's people lead their bulls around and go, "Look at the bollocks on my bull."
Sort of like that, but they're all in a big barn, and you can go through and look at them all. It's a good time. There's pigs. There's what else?
Owls.
Sheep.
Are there tigers and owls?
Deep fried ranch.
Deep fried owl. No. There's like talent shows, and we broadcast our show from there. Lots of excellent people watching. It's a lot of interesting things. 4-H clubs.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. You got to stick around another day.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether I have to fly out the next day, but I hope not. That sounds awesome. And it is amazing how the vice president nominee is. It's changed. You know, there's suddenly this whole other story going on in that area.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to get there. I'm also interested. I think it's the only show for some reason that hasn't sold out yet. So I'm gonna be there the day earlier and just wandering the streets begging people to come.
You know, Stacy's off those first couple of days. You could show him around and, you know, give him.
I think I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gone that Monday through Wednesday.
That's absolutely perfect. We'll both have flyers and we'll be flyers.
I would be happy to take you to the fair.
He can get a preview of the fair with Stacy.
It'd be funny.
It's amazing. We can do a whole web series about it. We could have a podcast.
We'll have her people get a hold of your people, and that means she'll get a hold of you somehow.
I was going to say, you're my people.
Yeah.
Maybe our people can get together and we can just stay there.
Yes, tickets are still available, but it's one of those things where if you're looking for just a different experience and a different show in our area, it's a great date night. It's a great night for you to go out with, with your spouse or whoever and just enjoy some really good music and just, like I said, laugh and cry. You don't get that much these days.
I don't see the point in going to the theater if you're not going to laugh and cry, really.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're just going to be mundane, why would you sit there?
Yeah.
What's the point? But thank you for coming in with us. We appreciate you taking the time, and I know you're busy. So we can't wait to see you on the 21st, man.
Huge pleasure, and I really appreciate the time. It's awesome.
All right, there you go, Tim.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah, you can get all the details on his website. So there you go, check it out.
I think it looks so interesting.
It's so interesting.
I can't wait to go to the show.
Yeah, it's gonna be a ton of fun. So, I was gonna bring Alex in.
He just decided to run away.
Hey, Alex.
Hi.
He doesn't look cute today, so he says
he don't want to be on camera.
He's like, I didn't put my lipstick on. I didn't put on my hair.
I was delayed coming in here, and I was attempting to get on just to sneak one question in for Tim.
Oh,
I messed it
sorry.
up.
Ask the question. We'll answer it for him.
Who was your least favorite comedian to work with on 8 out of 10 Cats?
Well, mate, it was the first cat. Okay, what you're talking about. I'm just trying to do it.
I don't think anybody would know.
You should hook up with him and show him around.
Whoa.
I think that'd be not hook up.
Not hookups. God,
connect.
Would you stop? Your mind goes there all the time.
Connect.
Yes. Would you connect with him and maybe you can get in the State Fair a little early and show him around?
That would be really funny.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be a blast just to see you two together.
Funny.
So there you go.
Yeah, because he's probably someone that people think is drunk all the time too.
Oh.
What?
Can you just isolate that for the show, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sharing any of my Bacardi with you guys.
Someone who's also known to the public as an alcoholic.
I did go to someone's house and I saw non-alcoholic vodka there.
And you're like,
What?
what's the point?
What's the point?
To who? Where was this?
I said someone's house and I saw non-alcoholic apple vodka. And I'm like, what's
apple
the
flavor?
Yeah. But still, what's the point?
I tried some.
It's not like vodka's good. You drink it, to feel good.
I tried some of Lewis Hamilton's non-alcoholic tequila, and it was pretty good. I kind of
You tried that at the Spirits Classic.
That might have been it.
Yeah.
I don't. No. I had it somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
But it's. I kind of get it. If you want to feel like you're having. I couldn't imagine.
I'd rather just do chocolate milk. Just if I'm not drinking,
agree with you.
Yeah, just give me a chocolate milk. If I'm not going to have an adult beverage,
Yeah, make it a yoo-hoo.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's all right. That's our. I don't know what happened here. That's
sorry.
our podcast. There you go. All right. We'll see you guys. The next time we do a podcast. So next week. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Well said.